A very good morning to all the students. Hope you all are ready with your copies. Already the date has been out when you have to submit. Only one of your parents, either father or mother, will come with all the copies and submit it to the respective class teachers on the date given to submit. No crowding, no gatheration. Please ask your parents to bring sanitizer, hand sanitizer, and wear a mask, and don't get crowded. So get ready with your copies, covered it, write your name, class section. Now today, in my previous class I explained you about the different types of mixtures and solutions, that is what are pure substances, what are impure substances, how it was categorized, what are the characteristics of pure substances, how was pure substances classified, that pure substances were classified into elements and compounds, and impure substances were classified into mixture, which were further described as homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. Under homogeneous mixture it came true solution, under heterogeneous mixture it came suspension and chloride. Then I gave you a distinction between homogeneous and heterogeneous mixture. What are homogeneous mixture, what are heterogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture have got uniform composition, heterogeneous mixture have non-uniform composition. It doesn't show Tyndall effect. Homogeneous, heterogeneous shows, and like that. Now today I am going to discuss the different types of mixtures based on the particle size, based on their particle size. First is characteristics of true solution. What is a true solution? Now, true solution, what are the characteristics? A solution in which a true solution is a solution in which the particles of the solute are broken down to such a fine state that every portion of the solution has same properties. So that is called as true solution. So what is true solution? A true solution is a solution in which particles of the solute, that is the solute particles, are broken down into such a state that every portion of the solution has the same properties. Okay, and the true solution is homogeneous in nature. Now, and what are the characteristics of a true solution? First of all, it is always clear and transparent. Always clear and transparent. Fine. It is clear and transparent. Secondly, the size of the particles. They are so small that it is less than 1 nanometer or 10 to the power minus 9 meter. It is such a small. Third point, a true solution can easily pass through the filter paper. Suppose you take sugar solution. Sugar solution is a true solution. So, when you add sugar to water, it forms true solution. In this, sugar is solute, which is added to solvent, that is what? Sugar is solute which is added. So solute is in smaller amount and solvent is in larger amount. So when you stir that, after some time you cannot find out where is the sugar. Unless and until you taste it, you cannot say it is a sugar solution. So you cannot say it is a true solution. So the second point is the size of the particle is less than 10 to the power minus 9 meter. 10 to the power minus 9 meter or 1 nanometer. Third, because you cannot distinguish which is sugar, which is where is the sugar in the sugar solution. Third, it can easily pass through filter paper. It can easily pass through filter paper. It can easily pass through filter paper. Okay. Fourth point, it is homogeneous in nature. It is homogeneous in nature. Homogeneous in nature. And next point is true solution is stable in nature and you can recover it by evaporation or crystallization. You can get it through evaporation and crystallization. So these are certain points which so fifth one, it is stable in nature. It is a stable in nature. So these are certain points, sugar solution, salt solution. These are all examples of true solution. Now coming to what do you mean by aqueous and non-aqueous solution? Aqueous and non-aqueous solution, my dear students. What do you mean by aqueous, aqueous, and non-aqueous solution? Non-aqueous solution. Aqueous solution are those solutions in which solute is dissolved in water. Solute is dissolved in water. Okay, that is known as aqueous solution, like sodium chloride, salt dissolved in water. This is known as aqueous solution. Second one is the non-aqueous solution in which solute dissolved in solute like sugar dissolved in ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol. This is non-aqueous solution. The difference is aqueous means in water, that is the solute is water, a solute is salt or sugar and solvent is water, whereas in non-aqueous the solvent is other than water. Now a solution has two parts, as I told you, solute and solvent. Solute which is present in smaller amount. It is present in smaller amount. Okay, and solvent which is present in larger amount. That you call it as the solute and solvent. And solute and solvent together forms solution. Solute and solvent together combines to form solution. Like solution of tincture of iodine. You have heard it, solution of tincture of iodine, in which iodine is solute, which is dissolved in alcohol. Tincture of iodine, my dear student. Tincture of iodine, in which iodine is solute, dissolved in ethyl alcohol, which is a solute. Now next topic which I am going to discuss is 3, that is saturated solution, saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated solution. Supersaturated solution. Now what do you mean by saturated solution? Suppose you take a glass of water, okay, and you added 1 spoon of sugar in it, you go and stir, it dissolves. Again you added 1 spoonful of sugar to it, it got dissolved. That means unsaturated solutions are, before going to that, saturated solutions are those solutions in which no more solute can be added. No more solute can be added. Like after adding 5 teaspoonful of sugar, you see that now sugar is not dissolving. That means that solution has reached the saturation level. So in that you cannot add any more sugar. That type of solution is known as saturated solution. Unsaturated solution, after adding 5 spoon of sugar, you see the sugar is dissolving. Again you added 5 suppose in a bucket, it is dissolving. That means till now that solution has not reached the saturated level, so that is an unsaturated solution. Now you may ask, what is supersaturated solution? Supersaturated solution is those type of solutions. Suppose a solution has reached its saturation level. Now if you heat that solution, on heating you will see you are able to add sugar to that solution, or sugar or salt, and the salt is getting dissolved in that. That type of solution is known as supersaturated solution. So I have given you 3 different types of solution: saturated, unsaturated and supersaturated solution. Now related to this, on page number 77 in your book, you have checked your progress. Please do those questions in your copy. Page number 77. I will write in my notes also page number 77. So that you will do in your copy. Check your progress. Okay, that you will do in the copy. Now types of solution, and types of solution is, first one is solid solution. What does it mean solid? That means solid is solute, solid is also solvent. For example, alloy. I told you alloy is a homogeneous mixture of what? 2 or more metals or a non-metal. Next is solute liquid solution. Solute liquid solution, for example, sugar added to water. This type of solution you call it as the solid liquid solution. For example, salt in water. Third is liquid solution. Like if you are adding vinegar in water, that is a liquid. That is, vinegar is solute and water is solid. Fourth one, gas liquid solution. In this, gas is solute and liquid is water is solvent, like aerated drink. And third one is the gas solution, that you name it as the, what you say is that gas, you can say carbon dioxide gas. So these are certain things which I wanted to tell you about this. Now, what are the general characteristics of solution? Today I will be discussing about this only. What are the general characteristics of solution? The general characteristics of solution are, first, they are homogeneous mixture. Second, only one phase in a solution. Okay. Third, particles get evenly mixed up, like sugar dissolving in water. You cannot distinguish the boundaries. Boundaries cannot be distinguished. Size of the particles are smaller than 1 nanometer. Next, it does not show Tyndall effect. And lastly, they cannot be separated by using filtration or decantation. Now I will be discussing about solubility and concentration, and related to that some numericals I will give to you. Now next is solubility. What do you understand by solubility? Solubility is a measure that denotes the maximum amount of substance. Solubility is a measure that denotes the maximum amount of substance that can be dissolved in a solvent, in a saturated solution. So solubility is the measure that denotes the maximum amount of substance that can be dissolved in a solvent in a saturated solution. Now what are the factors affecting solubility? One is temperature. With increase in temperature, rate of solubility increases. Second top is nature of substances. Non-polar substance can dissolve well in non-polar solvents like benzene oil. Next is this concentration. What is concentration? Now concentration of a solute is a saturated solution at a definite temperature is called solubility of that solute in a particular solvent. Concentration of a solute, that means what is the concentration of a solute in a saturated solution at a definite temperature is called the solubility of that solute in particular solvent. Concentration is equals to amount of solute by amount of solution into 100. Okay, or if it is in case of a concentration can be expressed in two ways. One is by mass percentage, another is by volume percentage. If it is by mass percentage, if it is by mass percentage, then mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. Now, if it is volume percentage is equal to volume of solute by volume of solution. If it is in case of the liquids. Now today I am going to discuss one or two numericals, and based on that, suppose if I say a solution contains 40 gram of acetic acid. A solution contains 40 gram of acetic acid. 40 grams of acetic acid. A solution contains 40 gram of acetic acid in a 500 ml aqueous solution. Find the concentration in 500 gram of solution. Okay. And what will be the concentration? The mass percentage will be equal to mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. That is 40 by 500 into 100. It is 8%. 8% is the concentration. So here solution is given. So one more question I am giving to you. Suppose a solution contains 80 gram of common salt. A solution contains 80 grams of common salt, 80 grams of NaCl in 640 grams of water. Calculate the mass percentage of the solution. So, what is the mass of solute? What is the mass of solute? Mass of solute is 80 grams. Mass of solution is equal to mass of solvent, solute plus mass of solvent, that is 80 plus 640, that is equal to 720 grams. Mass percentage is equals to mass of solute by mass of solution into 100. That is 80 by 720 into 100. That is 11 by 9. Remember students, you have to write, if it comes in the exam, it will be a 2 marks. You have to write the formula when you write to solve this question. One numerical is a must, which will come for the exam. So, with this, I end the topic for the day. Hope you have understood the topics. I am going slowly. Again, I will repeat it, these same topics. I will give a reminder or a repetition, and then again I will start off with the suspension and colloid. With this, I end up my lecture. Hope you are noting down everything. Please don't forget to note down each and everything, whatever is being sent to you. We are trying our level best to undergo virtual classes and help you out, and you copy down. Thank you. May you have a wonderful day.